The wind howled through the narrow streets of a small American town. Snowflakes danced in the air, settling on empty sidewalks and flickering streetlights. And under one of those lights stood a tiny figure, a little girl, maybe 8 or 9, shivering in an oversized coat. Her name was Emma. Her lips were blue, her small hands tucked inside torn gloves. Across the street, she could see the warm glow of a food truck, Charlie's Roasted Chicken. Inside the truck, golden chickens rotated slowly on the grill, the air rich with aroma. Emma pressed her nose against the glass. Her stomach growled so loud that she laughed quietly, then wiped her tears. She hadn't eaten since morning. Behind her small smile was pain, and behind that pain was hunger. The food truck owner, Charlie, was a big man with a gentle heart but a tired face. He noticed the girl outside, her eyes, her silence. He frowned. He'd seen beggars before, but this one was different. She didn't ask for money or food. She just watched. Charlie turned to take another order, but when he looked back, she was gone. Moments later, the sound of the truck door clicking open echoed. Charlie turned too late. A small hand had snatched a chicken leg and disappeared into the alley. "Hey!" he shouted, jumping out of the truck. The snow crunched beneath his boots as he ran. He saw the girl running, clutching the food like treasure. Charlie chased her across the frozen street, his breath visible in the cold air. The girl darted into narrow alleys, slipping through fences and puddles. She was fast, desperate, terrified. He almost lost her, until she turned into an old trailer park at the edge of town. The lights there were dim, the silence heavy. Emma pushed open a rusty door and rushed inside. Charlie followed, ready to scold, maybe call the police. But when he stepped in, he froze. Inside, a frail woman lay on a thin mattress, coughing weakly. Emma ran to her, holding out the stolen food with tears. "Mom, I got us something." Charlie's anger vanished instantly. He saw the girl tearing the chicken apart, feeding tiny bites to her mother before eating herself. The scene hit him harder than any words could. He quietly stepped back, heart pounding with guilt and compassion. This wasn't theft. It was survival. Charlie left quietly. The snow swallowed his footsteps. But that night he couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw that hungry angel feeding her mother with trembling hands. So before dawn he made a decision, one that would change all their lives. The next morning, a soft knock echoed on Emma's trailer door. She opened it and gasped. Charlie stood there smiling gently, holding 2 large bags of food, warm blankets, and milk. He said softly, "You don't have to steal, kiddo. Just ask next time." For the first time in months, Emma and her mother ate until their hearts were full. The warmth of food brought color back to their cheeks. Charlie sat with them, listening to their story, how they'd lost their home, how Emma's mother got sick after losing her job. No one had helped, until now. Before leaving, Charlie made a promise. He'd bring food every week until they could stand on their feet again. Emma's eyes sparkled. "You're like an angel," she whispered. Charlie laughed softly. "Nah, you're the angel here, kiddo." And from that day, their friendship began. Weeks passed. Charlie kept his word. He brought groceries, blankets, and even medicine for Emma's mother. Slowly, the woman began to recover. Emma started helping Charlie at his food truck after school. Cleaning, serving, learning to cook. The town noticed the cheerful little helper and began tipping more. One evening, Charlie handed Emma a small envelope. Inside was a note that said, "For Emma's school fund." Tears filled her eyes. No one had ever believed in her dreams before. But now, she wanted to become something. Someone who helps others like Charlie helped her. But life isn't always fair. Emma's mother fell sick again, this time worse. The doctor said she needed hospital care, something they couldn't afford. Emma cried all night, clutching her mother's hand. When Charlie heard, he closed his food truck early and made another decision. Charlie sold his food truck and his only source of income. He used the money to pay for Emma's mother's treatment. When Emma found out, she couldn't stop crying. "Why would you do that?" she asked. Charlie smiled. "Because kindness always finds its way back." Months later, Emma's mother fully recovered. Charlie found work again, this time managing a bigger food stall, and he took Emma along as his helper. They became like family. The people of the town began calling Emma The Little Hungry Angel. Years later, Emma opened her own small restaurant. Above the counter hung an old photograph, snow-covered food truck, and a little girl standing outside it. Whenever anyone asked about it, she smiled and said, "That's where my story began, with hunger, kindness, and a man who believed in me." The story of the Little Hungry Angel spread across town, reminding everyone that kindness can change lives. It doesn't take wealth to help others and only a warm heart. Because sometimes the smallest act of love becomes someone's biggest miracle.